Having spent many years meditating, I have found and explored many different techniques. And I think in the beginning, or a lot of times during our journey of meditation, we're looking for techniques that are going to work for us. And it's important to remember that as we grow, as our meditation practice grows and our awareness grows, the techniques that we're using are bound to shift. And so our meditation practice is it's like a living art. Oftentimes we think of learning something in somewhat of a static sense, like to learn to count. You're challenged. Finally, you get it, and now you've learned to count, and so the skill is locked in and it's set. Same thing with reading, with some of the things we learn in life. You learn it and it's set and it's done. But there's other things that are a constant evolution, a constant evolving of it. And a lot of times that's in the arts, or when you get into the deeper realms of a subject. So for example, I've recently started to paint, so painting in acrylics. And what I find is there's just so much to learn. There's mixing of colors. There's how you apply colors. There's, is the canvas wet? Is it dry? What's the background color? All these things. And so it's just there's so much to learn. And in a sense, one great attitude is one's always a beginner. One's always a student because you're always learning. The minute you think you've mastered something, then things can get a little stagnant. So of course we want to feel that we've mastered things, like when we're children. I've learned to read, I've learned to tie my shoes, I've learned to do this and that. And we have that feeling of accomplishment that we can rest on. But as we mature and grow and really start to explore subjects that are huge, then in some respects, we're never finished. We're always a student. And so there's a wonderful book that I always recommend called Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind. Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind. And the very idea being that the Zen mind, which is something that we want to attain, is the beginner's mind because it's open, we're learning, we're growing, we're not stuck and finite. And so the same applies to our meditation practice. We always want to be open to the new turn in our practice, to the new inspiration we bring into ourselves. And it doesn't mean that we're shifting our general path. So if I decide I really resonate with Buddhism or Zen, I can be a Zen practitioner my whole life, but within that field, I can explore different types of techniques. It's not like, oh, I'm going to try Zen for a month, and now I'll try Sufism for a month, and now I'll become a whirling dervish, and now I'll do this group. It's not, so I'm not talking about like jumping around between different groups or traditions, but once you've found a tradition or a group or a teacher that you really connect with, in your own practice, realizing there'll be shifts and changes. And so what I want to do this morning is go through our meditation technique, and in each of the things that we do, offer you a few different variations. So in the conscious relaxation, you'll choose the muscle groups. When we get into the concentration, I'll give a few options, but you choose the one you want to do. And so creating more of an open palette today, and for you to be able to choose based on your own resonance, your own feeling, where you'd like to focus. So it'll be the idea of our meditation practice being a fluid practice, something that we need to really feel in our hearts and in our mind what we're connecting with, and then following that stream of consciousness, that stream of inspiration. All right, so we'll begin energizing ourselves first. So just sitting up nice and straight. And palms on the thighs, and we'll do a few shoulder rolls. So on the inhale, shoulders come forward and up. Exhale, back and down. Inhale, forward, up. Exhale, back and down. Now keep going at your own pace, linking breath to movement. Ending with the shoulders back and down. Now as you breathe in, feel your spine lifting, lengthening, back energizes. So your inhale is awareness of your back muscles lifting and lengthening the spine. Exhale is a release, but maintaining the strong posture. Now we'll release our neck a little bit to the extent it feels good for you. Inhale, feel there's a thread connected to the top of your head, lift and lengthen. And then the exhale, let your chin fall forward, let the muscles in the back of the neck go to stretch. And then you can gently begin to rock your head side to side in whatever way is comfortable. Get deeper into some of those muscles. Inhale, head up. Last thing we'll do is a twist. And you can use hands on your thighs or grabbing the back of your chair. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, twisting first from your low spine, just from your abdominal region. Then your mid spine behind your heart. And finally, if at all, very gently, head and neck. Focus on the majority of your spine rather than just the head and neck. Inhale back to center. And exhale other side. Inhale back to center. And then releasing. Now if you want to lean back, move into conscious relaxation. Now the general technique here is on the inhale, you become aware of a muscle group. On the exhale, you release those muscles. So this is where we're going to get into your choices. So having a general feeling of how your body is feeling right now. Scan through your body, starting with the crown of your head or from your feet, scanning up or down, which means just letting awareness flow through your body. Now choose a couple of areas where you'd like to create some additional release. So as you breathe in, become aware of those muscle groups. As you exhale, allow those muscle groups to release. I'd suggest 3 or 4 breath cycles in each of those groups. So we'll do this for the next minute or two. Ending with 2 final areas, 3 or 4 breaths on each one. Good. So with our bodies relaxed and released, we'll move into concentration. Concentration, super important part of meditation. Once we've relaxed and released our body, now learning to focus our mind. In the beginning, focusing the mind is done by focusing senses, your senses, sight, hearing, and feeling are the 3 primary ones. Of course, there's always tasting and smelling. But starting with those 3 primary ones, vision, hearing, and sense of touch. For each of those, choose one point of concentration for yourself. Always with the eyes, I suggest keeping the eyes still. So, for example, with the eyes, you could look at something with your eyes open, something unmoving in front of you. You can close your eyes and visualize. Again, you can visualize whatever you like. Or you can just concentrate on gazing into the back of your eyelids, different shapes and colors. So we'll begin with visual, and then I'll let you know when to switch to sound, to listening. So visual concentration. Now we'll do concentration on the sense of hearing. So it can either be listening to the silence around you or a specific sound. You can instead just focus in on your inner ear and feeling the sense of balance of your body, of your head. Or choose an internal sound, for example, repeating a mantra or hearing a melody in your mind. Your choice, focusing on the sense of hearing. Now let's shift our awareness one more time for concentration, this time to our concentration on sense of touch. So here the options are being aware of something external that's touching you, so the feeling of your clothes, the feeling of your body, however you're being supported. You could go with the feeling of breath, how your body moves and how the breath moves in and out of your body. You could go with the feeling of heartbeat. So some physical sensation of touch, either external, combination inner and outer with breath, or heartbeat. Now, having done the concentration, take a few breaths and just focus in on the feeling of having your mind concentrated. So through our senses, we learn to focus our mind. Focus in on the feeling of your mind, the calmness and the focus you've brought to it. Now we'll take this concentration, and the next big important decision in a meditation practice, in your practice, is what you're going to do with your focused mind. So a few options. One is just to continue to focus in on the feeling of serenity in your mind and heart. Another is to visualize if there's something you want to achieve or create in your life. You can visualize, feel, imagine, shape your mind into that form, which will manifest it more quickly. You can focus in on a quality. If you want to cultivate a quality, you could use the quality, for example, gratitude or thankfulness as a mantra. Hold it in your mind, repeat it. or continue to focus in on one or a combination of your senses. So your choice, how to use your concentration power, what form of meditation you want to do. And now the final variation is how you like to come out of your meditation. I like the analogy of our meditation being a beautiful flower in the garden, and we spend time to plant the seed, to water, to cultivate the flower, and a beautiful flower, which symbolizes our consciousness, grows. And then what are you going to do after? How are you going to hold on to this feeling and use it as a source of energy in your life? So that can mean, for me, just coming out of meditation slowly, doing a few simple things, keeping awareness on my breath, staying rooted in that feeling, even though beginning outer activity. The other thing I like to often do is do some drawing or journaling or some music to give some expression to the feeling. So however you like to come out of the meditation, but it's at this point that I'll say this beautiful experience meditating with everyone, and the light within me bows to and respects the light in each of you. Peace, peace, peace.